Yo, hey guys, what's shaking my bacons? It's Jason here from JTH Media, and I know what you're thinking. Where the hell have you been, mister? You said you were gonna have weekly uploads, and you've been gone for almost 2 months. Yeah, I know I said that. Well, with the COVID-19 breakout and everything else, things just got a little stressful, being at home. And I just didn't want to upload anything that seemed rushed. And I definitely just haven't been in the best moods to play new games while being, like, recording and stuff like that. So I take full responsibility. That is completely my B. But yeah, today I have a brand new video with you and some exciting stuff. As you can tell from the title, I'm going to be giving you guys my thoughts and opinions on the Halo 3 flight testing that just went underway and probably wrapped up by now, and also some theories about what I think is going to happen during the Xbox July event when they go to showcase Halo Infinite. So, as you guys can see in the background, I'm going to be showing you guys some multiplayer gameplay from the Halo 3 flight testing, as well as some campaign gameplay. Now, my initial thoughts were I wasn't sure what to expect. I didn't know if they were going to polish up anything, or if they were going to just, kind of port it the same way they ported Halo 3 to Xbox One with the Master Chief Collection. A little bit of a backstory: I am a pretty big Halo fan. I've played just about every single Halo game except maybe the twin stick shooter Spartan Assault. That one just didn't really seem to interest me. I think I played maybe 1 or 2 missions, but I never played it all the way through. But other than that, all the mainstream Halo games I have been a huge fan of, and I have played all the way through, even with some issues with one of the problem child. So for years, I mean, the first ever first-person shooter I played was Halo Combat Evolved on the original Xbox, and since then it's been a very give and take relationship between the two, and I've never once regretted putting so much time into Xbox and Halo. So yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit on the the bias side, leaning towards Xbox. If anybody's like, oh, what's your thoughts on Xbox versus PlayStation right now? Well, I think PlayStation looks pretty damn good, but my heart goes to Xbox for a lot of reasons. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here. So that's my history. I've been in love with Halo for a long time, so I decided to sign up for the Halo Insider program and try and play some of this Halo 3 flight before it got shut down. And luckily, I got an invite to it. So yeah, we could see we were playing some Team Slayer. And, my initial thoughts was, wow, this feels really polished. Yeah, I put hours upon hours upon hours into Halo 3 with just, me, my friends, and friends goes from Xbox Live to actually just physically having people over and connecting the multiple controllers and all that. Halo 3 was just a phenomenal game for my childhood, next to, Modern Warfare 2 and the other big titles that came out during that time. So when I got into the menu, I was like, all right, let's see what I could do in the settings. And the first glitch occurred, which it's pretty minor. Some of the keys on the keyboard were not properly they weren't properly assigned. So I spent a good 15 minutes trying to figure out, which keys needed to be assigned so I can actually save my settings. That was a little frustrating, but once I figured it out, it was pretty easy. And then to top it off, I'm a big console player for a long time, but I've been on PC for the last few years. So I'm pretty used to keyboard and mouse, but I just wanted to see how responsive and how well they were going to optimize controller support for this game. So I plugged in my Xbox Elite controller, and I decided to see how good it felt, and surprisingly, it felt pretty good. So the next thing I decided to do was obviously go into the settings and see if there was a damn FOV slider. Now, that's one thing that I've always had an issue with coming back to Halo 3. Originally playing Halo 3 as a kid, I was like, this game is fucking perfect. I don't see a single thing wrong with this game, and I could put hours into it without a second thought. But growing up and going back, I was always like, what the hell? Where's the hit scan? Where's the why does every gun feel like it's shooting plastic BBs, and why am I all the way zoomed in at 50 FOV? It felt weird going back sometimes. I mean, it always felt good to play, just because the nostalgia, and it's a really solid game. But yeah, I always just, it felt off, you know? So I upped that FOV slider to see if that was going to help, and I pushed it all the way to where it would help me, which is 120 FOV, and to my satisfaction, holy crap, guys, it felt great to play at 120 FOV. Like, the gameplay felt a lot faster, and not only that, but all the guns felt better too. Like, you could see the model, and the model's better. Because like I always thought the Halo 3 Magnum looked really goofy, and I never wanted to use it because it just looked so weird and felt so weird to use. But after pushing that FOV up, I just, picking up every gun felt like I was picking it up again for the first time, and it felt good. And I could see they were tweaking the projectile hit system a little bit there. It's not hit scan. If I'm correct, Halo 3 didn't use hit scan like Halo 2 and the other Halo games. It uses projectile-based hit system, which makes the guns a little less responsive than what people would like. And I can definitely tell that they're making some tweaks to it, because the battle rifle felt good. I used to hate the Halo 3 battle rifle. I would never want to play Precision Slayer because I could never get the battle rifle right. I'd always wanted to go to AR Assault Slayer or one of the other game types. So having the battle rifle finally feel good on top of the Magnum, surprisingly, it was like playing Halo 3 all over again, and I absolutely loved it. So that's enough of the multiplayer. Let's go ahead and start talking about the campaign.
Chief, the Prophet of Truth has found the Ark. Our only chance of stopping him is a surprise aerial assault. Clear this sector of Covenant anti-air defenses. Make a hole for the Admiral's ships. Good hunting. He's out.
Well, no surprise here, it did not disappoint. The Halo 3 campaign looks and sounds as good as ever, and I had an absolute blast playing it. Now, unfortunately, some cutscenes were missing, and as well as we couldn't play all the missions. You would start on the typical first mission where you're going through the jungle with Arbiter and Sergeant Johnson, but it doesn't have a cutscene. You're not hearing Cortana's great monologue talking about why she chose you and how Master Chief has this insane luck. Probably because he's 117 and Bungie has a boner for all things 7. So you start off with the, dare I say it, iconic first mission, and then you move on to the storm immediately after. And I didn't really have a huge problem with this. I understand why they're doing that. They want to make sure they can test all the big battles, as well as make sure most the things that they're worried about actually work. So the storm, you've got the anti-air wraiths, you've got the Scarab fight on the Mongoose, and you've got just tons of AI going everywhere. They want to make sure the game is polished before it launches with PC. And then after that, I believe the mission you can play is the Covenant, and then you can play the final mission as well. And again, I understand why they did this. They want to make sure that all of the big scale AI battles are polished and work correctly as they are intended to. And I didn't really notice anything out of place. I played at a limit of 60 FPS just because of the Halo 2 mishap where when they launched Halo 2 on Steam, it kind of bugged out a little bit if you didn't go anywhere, if you tried to go above 60 FPS, but also 60 FPS is just a sweet spot for me. My computer can handle more, but I just like staying in that sweet spot. So that felt good. No frame drops, nothing out of place that made the game feel awkward to play on PC. The only thing I noticed was a small graphical problem with the game not originally supporting a huge FOV. So if you picked up a skull, which most of us should because the skull hunting was one of the best things about the original Halo 3. If you picked up a skull and you were at a higher FOV, you could totally see that there's just missing player model. You're going to see through RB's or Chief's shoulder straight through because it wasn't properly mapped for a higher FOV. Now, I'm sure it's a pretty easy fix, and it's not a huge deal if that's going to be a problem. It might be a problem for some, but for me personally, I don't see it as a huge deal. It's not a deal breaker. The game's still fun, and really, unless you're trying to complete the game with walking around with each mission's skull, you're not really going to notice it that much. And I tried to look for other glitches, seeing if there's anything wrong with some AI, seeing if there's anything wrong with other player models, and I couldn't find anything, because 343, you're doing good. You had a rough start with Halo 4's multiplayer and the Chief Collection, but you're coming around. And that leads us into the final topic of today's video, Halo Infinite. So back in 2018, we were originally shown a tech demo for the game that would be known as Halo Infinite. Now this 2018 trailer caught me by complete surprise because, if I recall correctly, it was the first thing Microsoft showed off at that E3. And this trailer looked phenomenal. It was the gorgeous landscapes, gorgeous animals, and just everything about it just spewed attention to detail, and it was beautiful. And at the end of the trailer, it was revealed the art style of that, and I'm gonna say it, iconic helmet. Everything looked promising right then and there. We were going back to the old art style, we had the original music, and thank fucking God, we're back on an actual Halo ring. But unfortunately, the only downside to this trailer was, of course, we didn't have a release date, we didn't have gameplay, and we knew next to nothing about what this game was actually going to be. But it was promising with the original art style and the original music making a return.
This is UNS!
And then in 2019, we were shown an actual cutscene from the game, and my God, it looked amazing. The Discover Hope trailer was phenomenal from start to finish. We got to see a character who, in 5 minutes, showed more development and more emotion than Locke and Fireteam Osiris in Halo 5, but also we got to see what Chief was actually going to look like, sound like, and personality-wise, be like. It was a small hint, but his first words were,
You're not. Status report.
and then,
We need to run! No, we need to fight. Get ready.
So going back to that, man, a few words kind of Chief, where he's still probably going to have some emotional development in the campaign, which I hope. That's what I loved about Halo 4 and even liked about Halo 5, was the fact that we were getting some emotional development with the man of few words and the man of a high kill streak. But to everyone's blue balls, at the end of the trailer, we didn't get any gameplay. We did finally get a sort of release date saying Holiday 2020, and Phil Spencer said that, just like the original Xbox, Project Scarlet was going to launch with Halo. And that, sent shivers up my spine when I heard that, and I was up in the air excited about this game. But if we fast forward to today's timeline, we're looking at June of 2020, and we still have not seen any Halo Infinite gameplay, which I kind of understand why they're doing this. They definitely do not want to throw everything at us like they did with Halo 5 and get a mixed bag of reception. Because no matter how good the game is or how bad the game is, it's not going to cater to every fan. Some of the classic fans are probably going to have some huge issues with Halo Infinite, and some of the new fans are probably going to have some huge issues with Halo Infinite, which I'm crossing my fingers that this game is going to be phenomenal, and I have some pretty high hopes. So why do I think 343 limiting what we're seeing so far into the development cycle is a good thing? Well, I think they're trying to surprise us all and take us all by storm. Now, if I can find these tweets, I'd love to put them back on the screen, where Phil Spencer is liking some tweets after the Sony's PS5 reveal, which was pretty good, even though some things stood out, like GTA 5 getting released again. We could see that some people were asking for a holy shit moment where we got extended looks at gameplay and extended details on certain games. And then, someone went as far as saying, hey, Halo Infinite needs to do this. And of course, Phil Spencer liked that tweet. So I could be just grasping at straws that are not there, but I think he might be alluding to the fact that, hey, the July event is going to be showing some holy shit moments about Halo Infinite. So with the promise that the July Xbox event is actually going to be showing an extended look at some Halo Infinite gameplay, what do I think that's going to entail? Well, if we look at the recent EA Play Live, which was a complete mess in my opinion, no actual gameplay was ever shown. And if we look at Sony's event, although good, it didn't show that much extended gameplay looks as some were hoping. So I think Microsoft, sitting in the shadows like they are, I believe and hope that they're really going to go all in with the gameplay. Because back in the June event, we didn't really see that much. We maybe got some small snippets, but Sony's taking the lead right now. Sony's PS5 looks very promising, their exclusives look very promising, and we still know next to nothing about Halo Infinite and the other Xbox exclusives. So in July, my theory is I think we're going to get a huge extended look at Halo Infinite's campaign as well as the multiplayer. Now, I'm hoping that we're going to get a non-revealing campaign mission, something that's might be a little bit more on the linear side, even though a lot of people are saying and theorizing that the game's going to be open world, which would be great if it goes back to the Halo Combat Evolved roots, where just huge level designs where you can pretty much go anywhere and get everything done with exploring. So a minor mission that just has a huge sandbox and giving us an extended 8 to 10 minute look at gameplay would be a massive step in the right direction. And then after that, maybe come out and say, hey, there's more, and we get some multiplayer to see how that system and engine and how the new engine is running that. But I think there's going to be more to it. To make up for all the silence and mystery surrounding Halo Infinite, a couple weeks ago we got announced that the Halo 3 ODST firefight, my favorite firefight, is making a return to Master Chief Collection. So I think they're going to announce that, hey, starting today, that is live and ready to go. But that's not all. We're also going to be giving you access to the Halo Infinite multiplayer flight. Now I know what you're saying. Whoa, Jason, you're not a game developer. That's a lot to ask for, isn't it? Yeah, that is a huge mountain of things to ask for and theorize about. But I think it's all within the realm of possibility. I think Xbox is starting to learn its lesson after the big L of the 2013 console wars, with the fact that they were really just focusing on entertainment system rather than games. Sony took the huge early lead when it came to console sales and public reception. The PS4 just had more games. It had a better outlook for the games, and we didn't have to pay more money to get a Kinect with it. But of course, Xbox kind of caught up when it came to the Xbox One S and the Xbox One X, a very powerful yet quiet console that had a focus only on games and 4K output. So I'm hoping and I think that Xbox doesn't want to play second fiddle this time around. And with the rumors of the Xbox Series S, a smaller, cheaper digital version of the Xbox Series X, with that, I think they're wanting to sway public perception in their way, and what better way to do that than with Halo Infinite extended look, as well as a beta and some more love to the beloved Master Chief Collection as it has now become. So for those of you who buckled in and listened to my endless rambling about my love for Halo and Xbox, thank you for watching. Now, I don't want to leave the video here. If you guys have any thoughts or opinions or any questions, just leave them in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video and are new to the channel, please give it a subscribe. I promise I'm going to start getting back on track with these videos. So until next time, my bacons, stay fresh and tasty, and I'll see you in the next video.